Hey, welcome to the Digivox podcast, episode
Hello.
2. Our guest today is a self-described oompa-loompa, DJ, digital marketing professional, and event promoter. He produces his own music and has hosted and promoted various events such as successful event series Transit and Transit Festival, Dagdisco, Roenk, Paradise City Festival, among others, and is also one of the tallest people I know. Welcome, Alexandre Ancion.
Hi, Tom. Very nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem at all. Welcome to the Digivox podcast. This is episode 2. We did episode 1 with Alexander Taylor Barrett, who actually suggested you as a guest here. So I'm very excited to have you here. So, how are you doing today?
I'm very well. It's a beautiful day. Sun's just kind of blocked by the clouds, but I mean it's okay. Like time to be on our computers and do some work.
Exactly. So, what I want to talk to you about today. So that was kind of your introduction of all the things that you've done so far. It's quite a list. It's quite diverse in terms of topics as well. So is there any particular topic that you want to start off on? Because, we can start on your music, on your festivals, on marketing. So is there anything that you had in mind to start off with?
You can totally choose. It's totally up to you.
Sure.
What do you think would be most interesting to start with?
Yeah, I want to talk about all the things. Maybe let's talk about your music a little bit, because we just heard some of your music in the intro there. What I was wondering is, like, if you start a project, because I have dabbled in music production myself, but if you start a music production project, how do you start it off? Like, do you have an initial idea that comes from like an external inspiration, or do you start jamming out, or what's really the process for you? Like, how do you get started on a new project?
Look, it really depends. Actually, sometimes, like you say, sometimes it's you have an idea in mind. Sometimes you're taking a shower and the water, the sound of the water dripping down gives you an idea, and you just have a tune in your head that you really want to put down onto your computer, and then you go and do that. But mostly it's just playing around and just for fun. I mean, it all started just for fun, and it's still fun. That's the main aspect of it, because if it's no fun, then why bother doing it?
Yeah.
So
right.
It's just, like you play around with stuff, and you don't know what you're going to end up with. And that's okay. I think that's the nice thing about it.
Yeah.
Actually.
So how long have you been doing your music production?
I've been doing it quite a while now. I think I've been doing it, the music production itself, I think it's been something like 10 years. I started using Fruity Loops. I don't know if you know Fruity Loops.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the most basic program. A lot of producers start by using Fruity Loops. You can just draw out your beat, and it's really easy. And that's how it all started. I think I was 15 years old, and I was just making music in my room, and it didn't always sound that great, but still, I loved it.
Yeah, it is a process, right? And you've evolved clearly, because your music now, it sounds really like any kind of music you would hear in the club, and you also play it in clubs, right? You also DJ from time to time, right?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. It's more like a hobby, actually. I mean, I've got other stuff on my mind. Like I got work. I do some marketing for some companies. We have a festival to organize. But yeah, I've done some DJing, and I love DJing, of course, and it goes perfectly hand in hand with the producing. So yeah.
All right. So about those events that you do, because you're obviously, I said you're an event promoter, but you're most of all also an event organizer, right? You also help organizing that stuff. So I guess you kind of do both things. You do the promotion and the organizing for the events that you do?
Yeah, indeed, yeah. So basically, we're two people, so it's just me and my buddy Bram. and just we were just hanging out like 6 years ago, and we really wanted to organize something, and we really loved the whole music and the whole scene and the whole vibe, and we wanted to organize something that was fun and different, different in the production, but also different in the marketing, because what was out there, I mean, there was a lot of other parties going on, but nobody was like doing something special or something unique. So our first idea was to combine a dance night, so a club night, with a art exposition. So that was the original idea. And so we talked to students from all over from like the art schools in Antwerp, and we rambled. We had some people. We had an atelier. I don't know how you say it in English. Atelier.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, an art like a not really a gallery, but I guess a place or a creative space where they yeah.
So we had a creative space, and we made the arts to make it into like a real arty exposition experience with dance music. So it was something totally new here in Antwerp, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
And what was that first project? Because that was the first transit, right?
That was the first transit, yeah. And we stayed with this idea for a couple of transits, but after that it died out a little bit, because you need to spend a lot of money, extra money, to make this happen. And in the end, people just tended to come just for the music. So like the added value wasn't so clear anymore after a few editions, but still we felt like we had a style that was unique. And also in the way we communicated through social media and the way we promoted our events was kind of unique, because we thought it was really important to make a cool or a nice video that will really grab the attention and really add some dimension to an event. It's not just an event. It's like there's a whole story, and like you want to identify with it, and yeah. So that's pretty cool. We can take a look at the videos later if you want.
Yeah, sure. We'll definitely do that.
Cool.
So I was wondering about the organizing part. So let's kind of split that up. So the organizing part itself, like, what is kind of the process? So you start from an idea, right? You start from a creative idea. We want to do music combined with art. Then you need to book artists, right? I was wondering specifically about that part as well. Like, how is that process? Because obviously, when you see a party, you see like a cool name, and you're like, oh yeah, that's like a really nice poster with a lot of nice names on it. But you don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. There's kind of like a veil over that. Like, you don't really know that process. So I was wondering, how does that even work? Do you approach the artist? Do you send an email? Like, do they reply back, oh yeah, I'm that much? Or how is that process? How do you do that?
So basically, when you have a club night, you basically work together with a club. So they do all the arrangements in terms of sound and lights, and I mean, you basically don't have to do. Then you're just a promoter. So what you do then is you have to do the artists. You need to take care of the entrance, so the tickets, people going in and out, and of course, yeah, everything that has to do with the artist. So I mean, the artist needs a place to stay. The artist needs transport, and you have to pay for all that. So yeah, you just approach them. Like, most artists have a booking management bureau, or a booker, as we say it, and you can just find their email accounts on their email address. Sorry. On their SoundCloud or on their resident advisor account. And then you just send a mail, and you need to fix a price. So of course you need to bargain a little bit. Like like negotiate a little bit to get the lowest price you can, but you don't want to offer a price that is too low, because then you just seem like a noob. So you do like how do you like the price? You need to really make a nice estimate, and mostly how we do it is a combination of, do they have promotional material? Do they have like boiler room sets online? Because if an artist has a boiler room set online, then it means a lot in terms of promoting. We can advertise that boiler room, and boiler room has this status, like automatically, if you see boiler room, you know it's going to be quality. So those things are going to influence like the price of the artist in a big way. So yeah, you just approach them, you book the artists, you get someone at the front desk basically to just get the money for the tickets, and that's it. And you do the marketing online. So you make a Facebook event, you make a poster, you make some artwork, not to be forgotten. So we work together with graphic designers, and then the people need to be stoked. So you need to make a story, like you need to make a planning for social media, like say twice a week, be regular, post a video, post some music, and really there goes a lot of attention to detail in this stuff, like the copywriting, like the text that we write with the posts. I mean, we put a lot of time into that, because it's really important to nail that copywriting.
Yeah. So do you every time you have an event, do you completely make the social media plan and the marketing plan completely custom to the event, or do you have some set guidelines for a campaign?
It depends. I mean, we just sit together and we just go through all the possible content that we could possibly post about this artist. So that could be like artist biographies, documentaries about the artists. It could be a track with a video. I mean, that kind of stuff. And then we try to split it up, and like make an agenda where we are regular, like twice a week we post, or every day. It could be every day. If there's a lot of content, you could post every day. And even like the time, like the moment, like the like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock is very important with social media and with Facebook. If you post at 4, a lot of people are gonna, like, if you have a video that has a night vibe with a more dark music, I mean, you want to post that in the evening, because you want people to be like, you don't want to post that on a Monday, because people just they had it, they had a weekend, they drank a lot, and they just don't want to hear about music and about partying anymore. But if you post on a Thursday, people are just looking forward to the weekend. So that's a nice moment to post, I guess.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's nice. So you basically are spreading out the content in a very conscious way. Like you basically assemble all the content that you could release, and then you don't want to release it all at once. You want to kind of spread it out over time. You don't want to give them the entire cookie jar. You just want to give them one cookie at a time. And then and then also, that's actually kind of interesting that you wouldn't post like a very heavy, dark like video or music on a Monday or something. That's super interesting. It's kind of like there's a lot of psychology that goes into it.
There is a lot of psychology going into it. And like, you want to make people need to desire, and people need to like really want to go to an event. And that's not always, it's not easy, because there's a lot of other parties going on, and like, how do you differentiate yourself? Like, it's pretty hard, but I mean, if you put a lot of thought into it, then mostly it tends to work better.
Yeah, sure. So that's super interesting, because I have this this book here. It's called like Marketing for Dummies, but I actually haven't
Nice.
read into it that much yet. But it does interest me. And you actually did this in school, right? You did digital marketing.
I did actually. Actually, I studied audio engineer.
Okay, I
Because
didn't know that.
Yeah, I really wanted to become something with music. But then I also realized that world is kind of like you need to get into studios, big studios, fancy studios, and it's really hard to get into. And I just started organizing these events, and I just noticed that the creative side and the marketing side of it was more my thing. So I just got deeper and deeper into that, and I did evening school teaching me digital marketing, and I just kept on doing that, and I read books, and I'm still learning today, but I actually know quite a bunch about it.
Yeah. So what are some of the key takeaways you would say from what you've learned in that digital marketing class? Because you also already talked about desire. Like I know that's already a big term in the marketing world. But
Yeah.
can you tell me some more things about what you learned there, and what are some of the key takeaways that you use in the real world all the time?
Oof, that I use in the real world. You mean
Yeah.
not in marketing, just like personal?
Well, I mean in the real world, as in for marketing an event. Like, are there some things that because I can imagine there's also things that you wouldn't necessarily use all the time that you learn. Like, for example, if I learn something in school, maybe for that it's kind of different because it's more niche. But what are some of the key takeaways that you've learned there that you're using in your marketing campaigns, or that are really useful to you?
Well, I mean,
there's obviously a lot of things, but yeah,
there's a lot of things. You can go really deep. And marketing is actually a pretty broad term, actually, because everything that you use to sell, to create desire for your brand or for your product or service is called marketing. And digital marketing is even that super broad. I mean, it could be like, you could be like writing articles and sending them over to press, like PR stuff. You could do advertising on Facebook. You could do like SEO stuff, like search engine optimization. I mean, you could do different stuff. And actually, it's so broad that mostly you need like smaller people, like smaller pawns actually in the game that do certain stuff. So doing the whole package is quite a challenge. But your question was, what did you learn? The thing is, I did like an evening school, and it was like concentrated on the more technical stuff. So it learned you the skills on how to advertise on Google, on Facebook, how to do SEO, all that stuff. But it didn't really learn you about like the psychological aspect, like how to create desire and all that stuff. So that's why I read a lot of books about it, and just checked out a lot of videos about it and movies about it. And I mean, every sort of media that could help.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know that much about it, so it's really hard for me to ask a specific question about it because I just don't know too much like enough about it to really give you like a specific point about it. But it does interest me a lot. Like, for example, this may also be really broad, but at the same time, if you market an event, if you just set up an event, if you do all those things that you said, you make a timeline, those things are obviously super important. But what I'm also interested in is the reach itself, because if you only do that, then well, it's sitting there. But how do you spread it out? Do you do it through contacts, or how do you make the audience for it? How do you grow the audience? Because that's like a point that I'm really interested in. Because yeah, it's a different thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, a big part of it is, of course, advertising, which is really important for events, because basically your Facebook event, I mean, today, and it's been like this for years, is the most important thing for your event. I mean, if you see an event on Facebook and you see there's more than 1,000 people interested or going, you know it's going to get down. And once you have that, I mean, it's going to grow automatically. It's like a chain reaction. So that's the goal, like get as much people interested on the Facebook event. And luckily, Facebook provides a very nice advertising platform. I'm sure you're well aware of. Right?
Well, yeah. Well, I know about the advertising on Facebook that you can really granularly choose which kind of people that you want to reach.
Yeah, you can target. So you can really target, like Facebook has the most insane targeting. Like you can target people that who are going to get married soon. Like you can choose.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to target people who are going to get married in 3 months? You want to target people who want to get married in 6 months? Do you want to get people who spend more than average on the internet? Do you want to get people? Do you want to target people that have like shown interest in cookies? I mean, it could be anything. It could be anything, and then you can go really narrow, because you can also target people if they like a certain page. Mm-hmm. So for us, we like a big festival like Dick Mental. I don't know if you know Dick Mental.
Yes, yep.
Well, that's completely our public, like our audience actually. Yep. So I mean, we can just put it in the targeting. We could just show our content only to people that like Dick Mental, and then you can just combine that with locations, so like only in a 60-kilometer radius of Antwerp, the city where the events take place. And then those people also have to be like between 19 or 18 and 30. So you get the right people that way. Yeah. So yeah.
But so
and also, yeah. Also, you can share audiences. So if we had an event. So last year we had the festival. So we advertised a lot, and we showed our content to people that like Deck Mental and so. So we get page likes, we get event responses, and then the year after we can advertise our new event to those people that responded last year and to those people that liked our page, and also other parties. Like if we work together with other Antwerp parties, they can also share their audiences. So they can share the people that responded to their events or the people that liked their page. And we can also advertise our content to those people.
Okay, so that's also an important one, I guess, like collaboration with other events. So they can literally give you, through the advertising, they can make a list available to you to advertise?
It's a list, but it's anonymous, so you never see names or anything.
Yeah, sure. But they can say, okay, you can advertise on our guests.
Yeah,
okay.
You can share it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool. And so basically, you can make an ad. And Facebook is going to, like, you have a lot of different options with Facebook advertising. Like you can optimize for clicks, like a link click. Like you can optimize for people going to your website. That could be for tons of reasons. You can also optimize for page likes. You can optimize for engagement, so likes and comments on your posts. You can optimize for conversions. You can optimize for sales on your website, which is connected through the Facebook pixel. And what we use for the festival or for events is, of course, event response. So you have your event, it's going to show an ad. You can choose the media. So it could be a video, it could be whatever. And there's a knob, and you can just click interested or going. And that's what we need. Like Facebook is going to optimize so that it shows it to people that are likely to click on that knob. So mostly, so that's how we get like the cheapest clicks on going or interested.
Yeah. So like you said, that was what I was going to ask is So people that are most likely to click going on an event. So people who go to events a lot, they'll get the event more prevalently. That's the optimization that you're saying, right?
I mean, I think the optimization, nobody really knows what happens, but it's an algorithm. And I think it even shows it to those people on the right moments and everything. Like, it knows so much. It's like, that's like AI stuff, like machine learning stuff. And it acts on probability, you know?
Goes on behind the scenes. That's so interesting. Also,
do the work, you know?
let the tools do the work. Yeah, that's I guess how it became big, right? How it became as big as it is because of those algorithms. So basically you're saying that the audience building, the main part of it is through advertising on Facebook and such. So advertising is your main audience building tool.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm starting to step away from that a little bit because it's never good to only focus on advertising.
Mm-hmm.
It's always better, like except if your content is really good, if you have like a really nice video, which we try to do,
mm-hmm.
then sponsored content or advertising is works really well and it's really nice. But I mean, it's always better if someone says that you are great, you know, like maybe not for events, but for any product. Like if you advertise your product saying, hey, look at us, we're great. Well, that's not how it works. Like, look at us, buy our service. You know, you're going to spend your money and it's going to end up like, people don't like, you're just a random sponsored ad and there are so many of them. Right? You probably you have ad block on.
Yes,
you don't see
I do. But on your phone, you don't get that. So.
You see ads on your phone, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when you use those apps, you can block those ads.
I mean, I wouldn't want to block my ads because like I love watching ads and like seeing how they do it and get inspiration from it, or see like, oh my God, they really suck. That's a shitty ad. Like, I really love that. I don't want to block my ads.
Yeah, sure. So
I want to see what the others are doing. But what were we talking about again? Audiences. I mean, we can go really deep into that. We can go.
So you just said that obviously organic growth, I guess what you're getting at, is way more important than getting someone through an ad. Because it just creates, I guess, more engaged and more long-term audiences. Like for example, myself, like I learned about transit through Alexandre, and then I met you and stuff like that. And now I basically come to those parties more often and I'm more involved. And you know, so that's, I guess, how you create more involved audiences, right?
You kind of need the advertising. Like you can advertise a video and then this person is going to talk about it to his friends. So then you have both, you know?
Yeah, it's an entry point.
It started with the paid and it continued. Or you can just like, you make your ad and you ask people to share in your ad. And that way people see an ad and they share that ad. And that ad is going to have like 20 times or like 100 times more reach. Just for free, because you just ask people to share. And then also the people that see that shared ad or shared content, they don't see it as an ad. They don't see sponsored. They just see, a friend of me shared it. So that's like way more organic. But actually, it started off with an ad. See?
Yeah. So an ad is like an entry point to basically get someone to know your content when they have no connection to it at all. You basically create an artificial entry point, a seed, and then it can spread from there.
It's the easiest way to get reach. Like, it doesn't cost a lot. Like, it costs you on average like €5 to reach 1,000 people. So that's not a lot. It's not a lot. And I guess for you also for podcasts, like not even for you, but like podcasts, you can easily just give away something. Make an ad, with a giveaway. Tell people to share it and like your page to win that thing on your ad. And your ad is just going to have crazy reach, and I mean, people are gonna jump to the podcast like it's got fucking like free cookies or something, you know?
Yeah. I know what you mean. You see that often, right? So these campaigns, I don't necessarily like that when they say you can win this, but you have to leave a comment and a like and follow and mention like 5 people in your comments on Instagram. But it works. It clearly does work.
Yeah. If you think it's too cheap, which I also think I wouldn't do that. But just asking to share if it's nice content, and you ask and you say and you don't make your whole post about it. Just make a nice post and just below in small letters just put share and win this.
Yeah, sure.
Or share to win blah blah blah. Like we would do like our video of our events, and then it's just gonna say, hey, this is the not like this, but like a cool event in Antwerp, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, it says share and win 2 tickets.
Yeah, just win an entry.
You don't make your whole post about it, but people are going to see it and people share it. And it works.
Yeah, the main content of your post. Yeah.
Tickets.
Yeah, exactly. So the main, I guess the key takeaway of this is that if you do a post like that, the main content of the post shouldn't be the giveaway itself. The main content should be the content, and then the giveaway should be a way to spread the content, to spread the body of the work.
It should be additional. Yeah. I think that's the way I would always do it. I wouldn't just do like a contest. Nah.
Because then people are there for the contest and for nothing else.
Exactly. It looks too fake, like too commercial. Like you don't have any other message than just win this. I don't know. I mean, it can work. It works, but like it depends on what you want. If you don't want to, like, your status to be like super, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to think about it like that, because obviously I need to find a way to advertise and kind of grow the audience, because the only way where I know to grow an audience is like I did on YouTube. But that was pretty organic, and also through Reddit. What I did was I posted a video pretty regularly, and I posted it on Reddit, and basically my growth came from that. But it's also interesting what you're saying, by just asking to do something, that already helps tremendously. I also noticed that when for example, when you watch a video or read an article about growing your YouTube channel, they're always saying, ask your audience to like and share a video. You always hear people saying that, but just asking those things will remind people to do that, and that also works. By just asking it, like for nowadays, like it almost you almost cancel it out if you watch a YouTube video, because everyone is saying like and subscribe and stuff, but them actually saying that does actually help, right?
It does work. I mean, if they say it, I do it. Especially if the content is good.
Yeah,
which is really important, because I mean that's like the main thing. Then you can ask it, and you don't have to make your video about it. Just make a video with nice content, informative or just entertaining video, and just ask in an honest way. Tell people like, yeah, it really helps. It really helps if you like and comment. Or like and subscribe.
Sure, you know? Yeah. And that kind of reminds me of a YouTuber. I don't know if you know him. It's called Davey504. Do you know this guy? Well,
I don't know.
You should definitely look him up after the stream. He's basically a bass guitar player on YouTube.
All right.
But he makes his videos in kind of like a humorous way. He has like a humorous twist to his videos. And he started out just making bass guitar videos, and now he's basically like the second PewDiePie. He's basically making like humorous videos, reaction videos on YouTube. But the thing is, you probably know about bass, that you can do like slap on the bass, and he uses that as his shtick. Like so, he always uses slap on his bass, and he always at the beginning of his video, he says something about slap like now or something, and he makes it into like a humorous thing.
That's nice.
And
he gives his twist to it,
yeah. So he basically makes it into a humorous thing. Like for example, I don't know. like a you laugh, you lose video or something. And then if you lose, you have to slap like and subscribe. And then, but he makes it into like a funny thing. And now his channel is growing tremendously because it's like part of the humor of the video, kind of. I don't know how he does that, but it's nice. It's really worth watching. Yeah, it really works because his channel is skyrocketing.
I will watch it. Yeah, it's very nice that people find creative ways to be different and not just to ask to like or to subscribe and to find like innovative ways to do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Davey504. So this is a super interesting topic to me. Just growing audiences. Yeah, sure. Please continue.
I mean, we could go like super deep into like Facebook ads stuff, like optimizing and shit. Like, I mean, we can just, like, you can go like really pro in that stuff because, like, with drop shipping, and I'm actually starting some kind of e-commerce stuff right now, and I'm trying to rely mostly on advertising, and we're selling actually clothes or bags, and we have the whole concept behind it. But what is really important is you are advertising worldwide. So, I mean, that gives you a lot of reach and a lot of possible people. And with a festival, you just advertise like just around your city. This is a whole other ball game. Actually, you need to find like the people that react to your ads or to your products in the best way. So you can make like dozens and dozens of groups, of different groups. So you make different combinations. I don't know if this interests.
Sure. Yeah, it does for sure.
So yeah, basically you start out with like 10 ad sets, and you change you change the settings.
What's an ad set?
So an ad set is actually the part of the ad. So it's a set. So it can have different ads in it. Mm-hmm. So you have a campaign, then lower in the hierarchy you have an ad set, and then you have the ad. The ad is part of the ad set, and the ad set is part of the campaign. You see?
Yeah,
the campaign is like the big thing.
Sure.
Okay, so the ad set. And the ad set, that's where you set the settings. So you can put the interests, demographic, like where do they live, what's their age, like everything that like defines the person.
Mm-hmm. So you make different groups or sets of ads for different audiences for the same product.
Yeah. So let's say it would be like beauty products. Yeah. So you're gonna just like maybe you'll start off with magazines. So you make like a group with Vogue magazine, you know, one with I don't know Beauty Today. Blah, 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 blah. You take like different magazines, or maybe like not even only magazines, but like whatever they could be interested in. So that could be like a series or a brand, a brand.
Sure.
So you could like take Louis Vuitton or Chanel or something. So you make 10 different assets. I like to start off with 10 and just let it run. And you're going to see after a few days which one gives you the most clicks for the lowest price, right?
Yep.
So then you're going to increase the budget on that one. If some ad sets don't work well, just turn them up. Mm-hmm. And the ones that work, you duplicate them, and you can just change a setting. So you can maybe narrow it down. So you can make it into, they like Vogue, but they also like French fries. I mean, it could be anything. And then you make 10 like more narrow ones, lower on this one. So you have one where they like Vogue and French fries, one where they like Vogue and they like skiing. Could be anything. I mean, these are super irrelevant, but I mean, you need to...
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And then if the ones that work best, you can narrow it down even further, and you can just keep going until you get like... And Facebook is gonna optimize, so Facebook is gonna automatically choose the ad sets that work best and increase the budget on that one.
Okay.
So I mean, like you can... That's pretty crazy. And once you have enough sales... or enough things happening on your website, you can make lookalikes.
So in the end, you come with a data set that is almost a prototype of your ideal customer, or the ideal customer that responds to your ad the most, or the most likely to respond to your ad.
Yeah. And then this is the craziest part. You can make lookalikes. Do you know lookalikes?
No.
Yeah. So once you have like 100 people, or the more the better, performing an action on your website, it could be anything. It could even be just people that watch your video on Facebook. But you need a source. So a source could be people that watch your video on Facebook, like people that watch 75% of your video on Facebook. That could be a source. It could be, it could be like people that viewed multiple products on your website, or people that added things to their basket on your website. You take that source and you make a lookalike. So that means Facebook is going to you can choose 1%, 2%, 3%. Of course, 1%, it's going to take all of the people in the world that looks the most in terms of,
So it's like profiling. You're profiling as a kind of person.
So 1%. So that means you have 100 people. Okay. And that one person that looks the most like your potential buyer, like your buyers, actually, if you take people that bought, it's going to take that person,
that's a lot
all
of
those
people
persons in the world that look like the 1% most similar to the people that performed the action. So that's crazy. Once you have that, a lot of people. If you use purchase, and then you just take like the 1% of the whole world that looks the most like people that purchased your goods, you're not gonna waste your money. You're showing your ads only to people that are super similar to the people who already bought your products. So you can really scale. If you you can spend thousands of dollars a day on Facebook and get tens of thousands of euros back a day in return. So I mean, I'm really experimenting with that stuff right now, and it looks pretty promising, actually.
That's crazy. So I guess you can also, in the lookalike thing, you have to choose a percentage of the world, I guess, and that scales up in budget, I guess, right?
Yeah, and then you just put your budget, and if you feel that you have showed your ads or showed your content too much to that 1%, whatever, you just go to 2%. You have a bigger audience. It's going to cost you a bit more, probably, a bit, but I mean, you probably oversaturated that 1%. But I mean, 1% in the whole world, that's a lot of people. So it's going to take a while.
Crap ton of people.
Yeah. And even if you change up your content and all that stuff, then you're never really going to oversaturate your 1%. So
wow, that's insane. I love that.
Yeah, you can go even deeper. This is the top of the nutshell. You can go much deeper in that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
No. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay. Let's see. What's an oompa-loompa, by the way?
Oh, it's just a joke. Because I'm really tall and an oompa-loompa is really small. So it's I just didn't want to have a too serious biography on my Instagram. So people that know me know I'm tall. Yeah, I put oompa-loompa because I'm not small. So
all right.
Big joke.
What's your go-to order at your favorite hometown restaurant?
Ooh, that's a random question.
Well, if you take out something, what's your favorite order?
I think it's banh mi. Do you know that?
No.
It's really good. It's Vietnamese. It's fusion cuisine. It's pretty new. Fusion cuisine. Yeah, I love cooking, by the way. We can talk about cooking too. No, I'm kidding. It's not digital. It's not digital.
I don't mind. What's banh mi? What is that?
Banh mi.
Banh mi?
Yeah. Banh mi.
So it's not like, it's not like banh mi.
Look it up.
Okay. How do you write it?
Let's see a picture of banh mi. It's BAHN.
Yes.
And then a little
A dash?
Dash.
Banh mi.
M-I.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's like a sandwich?
It's a sandwich. Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Oh,
And
wait,
this can you see it?
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Mouth watering right now.
Wow. And what is in there? Pork, veggies, herbs,
Yeah.
and condiments on a crusty
You can
baguette.
do it with pork. You can do it with chicken. You can do it with any kind of meat. You can do it with tofu if you're vegetarian.
It's basically, it looks like a healthy version of a mitraillette.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's actually quite healthy. Yeah.
It is healthy or not really?
It's kind of healthy. It's got. I'm gonna tell you what it's got. It's got sriracha mayonnaise. You know sriracha, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the typical hipster spicy sauce.
Sure.
You know, you mix that up with mayonnaise, which is super European mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's not healthy.
That's not healthy. That's like the most unhealthy thing in the,
Okay.
in the dish. Because you have meat, you have carrots, raw carrots, you have cucumbers and coriander, lots of coriander.
Nice.
And then you have some ginger in there, some garlic. It's really good. Some lemon juice.
I love
and
ginger.
soy sauce.
Ginger is so good. Oh,
It's really tasty.
nice. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, random question, but yeah, I kind of wanted to ask this. I also, well, you sent me before some links, right? For the people that you have been working with in terms of video production, because obviously you've been talking a lot about the content itself, right? And that the content has to be good, and the videos that you're making. Can you tell me something about the process of the video production for Transit or for the events that you do?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we're always looking for like a concept, like something irrelevant but still relevant that we can like make a story around the event. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So could be anything. Sometimes we're just toying around. I mean, we did a video where we did a video about a horse, about a drunk horse. So we had this horse mask.
Yeah, I remember
You saw
that.
it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's stupid, but still, it was funny. And we just had fun, and we just went to the city. We had a few beers and a bottle of wine, and we just filmed a horse just getting down in the city and just breaking stuff and like being outrageous. And that was basically the video. And then super irrelevant,
but still, I think in a way, because it was the horse mask, so it was kind of anonymous. So I guess when people saw that video, they could kind of put themselves in place of the horse, and then they could kind of relate to what he was doing, just hanging out, just being random, and I guess they could identify themselves with it. Was that kind of the intention, or not really?
Kind of, yeah. Kind of, but it was actually pretty random. This one was really random. It was at the start of Transit, so we didn't really know what we were doing. We just wanted to be funny, and it was just fun.
But that's how I felt when I saw that video. I was like, if you go to this event, you will end up like this guy.
Yeah, kind of.
Fuck yeah, I want that.
Sure. Like just fucking random. Like just be this horse.
Sure. But that kind of it's kind of the vibe, right? It just gives a vibe and it kind of gives you an idea of, okay, this is the kind of event that I'm going to. And if you're kind of like a random person or feel like to get, what I mean?
It doesn't take itself too seriously. It is random. So random humor, just not too serious. No corporate boring event. Just like we don't care. Actually, that was the first incentive. Like just booyah, and booyah in Dutch means like I don't give a shit. Just fucking random stuff. We don't take ourselves too seriously. I mean, we did videos for Roenk where I don't know if you saw those videos, but it was like a voiceover of Lord of the Rings. Did you see it?
I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure about that.
You should watch it. There's no copyright on there, I think.
Sure. Send me a link to it, and we'll check it out.
Sure, go to Roenk. Wait. But it was really fun.
It's on Facebook, or?
It's on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay,
so we did.
It's Roenk BE, right? Yeah, that's it.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I found it. I see like a Hotline Bling video.
Yeah, exactly. You can. There's no copyright on there, so you can
on the Hotline Bling video. Is no copyright?
No.
Okay, sure. Let's check it.
Put it on with sound.
Okay.
It's super random. This was a while ago.
You should be able to see it on the screen share.
And this is not even transit. This is our even less serious concept. Transit.
This is like the random concept.
This is where we really fucked around and we didn't give a shit about anything.
Hello?
It's actually me.
It's like master movies.
Roenken. And now it's gonna be super random. Look at this. Look at the end. Roenk. It's super random. Oh, we had another one. Oh my god, I'm gonna just go down on the feed of Roenk.
Okay.
But it's in Dutch, but I mean, I think like the concept is the most important. So like it's a news anchor that's very famous in Belgium. Here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was an ad. This worked like crazy. He's talking about like techno and like how techno is used to fucked up and yeah.
So he's basically saying, well, you might not like this music, but there's a lot of people who do.
yeah, that kind of stuff. Indeed, yeah. So this worked like crazy. Like we advertised this and people went crazy on it.
Yeah, that's super funny, man. It's so well made.
Right? It's like it's like news, but it's
it's funny, and it's from the Ancion video, right? The video clips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that video.
It's a very nice clip. Nice song as well.
Oh, super nice song. It's Tin, right? Tin from Ancion.
Ancion Tin. Yeah.
Man, that video, just the people. It's so 90s. It's just people in fila suits and stuff like that. But all that stuff is coming back, of course. now that stuff is popular again.
And I'm looking for that one, for like the original one, but I can't find it.
For like a fila tracksuit?
No, for the video. I don't know where the random video, where the like the original video came from. You know?
Yeah, I have no idea.
No, I want to find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find it as well. In the maybe there's someone in the comments on that video that knows what that is.
Please let me know if you find it.
Sure, I will let you know. But I mean, still, like a 90s fila tracksuit would also be cool, right? No?
Yeah. I love that. Good thrift shopping.
Yeah, I want to find that. Okay. So you also had Dagdisco, right? What was that all about?
Oh, that was just, oh my god, that's a while ago. I still don't know what it's about though.
No, that's good.
I mean, Dagdisco, that's just a group of friends hanging out, and we wanted to just organize small guerrilla parties, like non-official, illegal parties. Actually, sounds badass, right? Right? No,
it's fine. Okay.
But it's pretty cool. beautiful. No, basically, it's just the concept is this. So there's this beautiful place in Antwerp.
Yeah.
It's just near the water, because in Antwerp you have the water from the port coming in,
Yep,
so it's beautiful.
sure.
And you have this corner where you see the whole city, and you just have grass, and it's beautiful. And what we do is just what we did. It's a while now. It's been a while. We just rent a sound system. We just put it there, and we just ask our friends who are DJs to come and play. And then people just come there, and we just party. We just have fun.
You don't advertise it or anything. You just
We don't advertise it because it's illegal. So I mean, I think if you advertise it, it might get to the wrong, like to
sure,
or something. Like I don't know, but we do make a private event, so that's like more like word of mouth.
Invite only.
Invite only. Yeah, just tell your friends, but you're not gonna make an official event.
No.
It's not official.
But I guess random people also come in when they hear music playing, and
of course, that's the cool thing about it. It's super improvised partying, and I mean, sometimes you have the police, and they say you have to stop, and then you just go to another spot, and continue the party. So,
one other thing I wanted to ask you about is obviously now with the whole Corona thing. I don't really want to talk too much about it specifically, but.
No.
So what are some other, because obviously you're really deep into the event space. So what are some of the things that you are doing now to stay creative or stay learning or stay on top of things? Like what are some different projects that you're doing right now?
Yeah, so as you know, normally we would have had the festival. We were super excited for it. We had like the best lineup we could imagine. I mean, the tears and sweat that went into that lineup and into the festival already for this year is kind of crazy. Like we were just like putting so much energy into booking the artists that we wanted, and we finally had them all. And then this COVID thing happened. But we kind of saw it as a blessing. It's important to see it as a blessing and just use this extra time that you have for other projects. So I'm doing a couple of things now. Like I said, I'm trying I do a couple of clients in digital marketing. So I've done some advertising for for a fashion brand and for another brand. But I'm also like, I want to start my own little company selling tote bags. Actually, it's tote bags. So we bought like a special printing device and like a transfer press to make our own custom tote bags. We went to we sourced it. We sourced the best quality, cheapest, best tote bags that we could. We made a website, and we're actually working now on making it happen to make ads with our designers and to do the whole testing lookalike process to sell. And we're going to see where it happens. And the main goal is to have a fully or almost fully automized business, actually.
Yeah. So you make your own designs, or do you have people that you're working with for the designs?
We are working with people to make the first designs. But actually what we want to do is we want to attract like independent young designers who just are making designs all the time and use those designs and pay those people for those designs. So we can make an ad. We can make an ad telling people, "Hey, do you want to make quick cash? Mm-hmm. Send us your designs, and we'll pay you for those designs." So I'm sure there's a lot of young, still student people making designs all the time. So if they send us their designs, we give them money for the design. Then we just have a constant stream of designs coming in, and we just have to choose which ones we want.
Mm-hmm. So I might know someone who can make something maybe for you.
Yeah,
I think I know someone. I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna send you her IG page, and you can check it out.
Yeah, after this.
Sure, I'm gonna write that down. Then I'm gonna send you.
Doing business on
Yeah.
podcast.
Exactly. I'm going to send you after. What I also wanted to ask you about, because you brought it up right after this question, is obviously the festival that you were working on. Because I'm sure if you do a festival, that's a completely different ball game than doing a single event at a club.
Ooh, yeah.
So tell me about that. How is that? What are some of the other things that you didn't maybe expect that you would have to deal with?
Wow. We totally underestimated that in the beginning.
I can imagine.
Yeah, actually, we didn't really want to do a festival first. It wasn't the original idea. We just wanted to do a club night or club day somewhere on a random location. So that's where we came up with a castle, which is called Kasteel den Brand. It's a pretty famous castle in Antwerp. Beautiful, with beautiful green stuff around it. And we contacted them and we asked, can we do a night in the castle? And they were super excited about it. So we were super excited about it too. We were like thinking about which artist we wanted and thinking about the whole production process. And then actually we thought, why wouldn't we do something in the day as well? Like, we have the castle, we can do something even just outside the castle. We're going to ask them. And they were super excited about it too. So we thought, okay, cool. It's not a club night anymore. It's a small festival. Yeah. So okay, Transit Festival. Nice. And it really exploded on Facebook. I think it's also thanks to the castle, because that makes it really unique. You don't get to party at a castle too often. So it really exploded on Facebook. Of course, we advertised it. So we got like tons of reaction on it, like thousands and thousands of people. And then something happens. The castle, they panicked. They saw that the event on Facebook was like exploding, and they were scared about having too many people and having everything wrecked. So they told us, it can't happen. It's not going to happen.
Oh, suddenly they said it's not going to happen?
Yeah, and we were like...
Successful?
Too successful. Yeah, exactly.
What?
And, and we already had we had everything planned. Like, we had
Wow.
the bars and like the event was online. We sold 1,000 tickets already, and we were like, "What the fuck, man? What is this shit? Like, can they do this?" And apparently, they were in their right to do this, even with the contract that we had.
But
like,
don't you have like a specific? I would imagine if you say, okay, we're going to host an event, wouldn't you have a set amount of tickets until it's sold out and it's like, okay, we're full capacity, or you?
Of course, yeah. There's a set amount of tickets. Yeah, and if you can.
So they knew about that, right? Or not?
Yeah. Yeah, but they were just scared of too many people coming, and I don't know. They changed their mind, which was kind of a dick move of their part.
Yeah, that's weird.
It was a dick move. So never rely on external people too much. The less, the better. The less, the better. Like, but what we did then is we looked for another location, which was really near. And we found actually a pretty nice location really near. So we went ahead with the festival. It was kind of shit to communicate to the people that it wasn't at the castle.
Yeah.
But still, it was pretty cool. I mean, we had a lot of people. We had almost like 1,500 people there for the first year. And everything worked out quite fine. So, I mean, it's okay. But that was the story of the castle. But actually, that's not the question. The question was, what's the difference between organizing a party at a club and organizing a festival?
For example,
we did underestimate that a lot. I mean, we thought it was, just rent a sound system, put some speakers. That's all. No, you have so many things. Like, you have like vergunningen. How do you say that in
like permits?
Permits, like event permits. It's a whole thing. Drinking permits, alcohol permits, decibels, all that stuff. Security. You need security. You have to you need like pathways also as emergency exits. It needs to be that many meters wide. Like who's gonna, like your bar, you need like we had to, like there had to be like a huge container coming in, which was cooling for the drinks because we needed a lot of booze. So like you have to make this happen. Like you need to close the thing off. So you need to, trucks need to be coming in with closure gates and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. And then you need some little huts where you can sell your tickets, sell your tokens. You need tokens. You need wristbands. I mean, you need anything. You need people to work behind the bar. We had like 50 people working for us on that day. With lighting, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You need lights. You need smoke. It's a whole it's a lot.
because you're not, I guess, relying on the club for the infrastructure. So that's just an entirely new element that you basically have to improvise an infrastructure at a random location. Well, not a random location, but at just a space, and then you have to make something out of that.
Everything. There's nothing. You have to make the infrastructure happen.
Yeah. So with the club, there's just the club, and 90% of that is covered, basically.
You do promoting, and you just settle the artist, and that's it. And now you do the promotion, settle the artists, and you do all the rest.
You make the entire venue, which is, it seems like the biggest part of the job, like making the venue happen.
It's like 50-50, I think.
Okay.
Because you need to promote a festival of that kind. I mean, you're going to have a lot of costs. Costs a lot of money to make a whole venue, like a pop-up venue for one day. So you need income. So I mean, the marketing aspect is also really, really important. But the production is quite a challenge.
But that's fun. Challenges are cool. But is there also a difference in terms of marketing as well, or do you basically take the same approach as you do with the club event, or do you take a different approach, or is it pretty much?
You take it more seriously because you have more risk.
Yeah,
you're spending a lot of money. So, I mean, it's not like a random club night where you maybe spend like 5,000 euros on artists and promoting. This is a much, much, much bigger budget. So, like, there's much more on the line if it fails. So, and that's kind of it makes it less fun in a way because you know that random stuff like I don't give a shit kind of promoting it kind of goes away, you know. You don't take risks as much.
Yeah.
You just want to be safe, like make a nice video that will attract people, but you're not gonna do like a horse getting drunk and random Lord of the Rings stuff because you just don't want to do it. There's too much money on the line.
Fit. Yeah, sure. Man, that's awesome, man. Super interesting. So also for the Paradise City Festival is also another thing that you did. I don't think you organized it with them, or did you? Or just the promotion part? I guess you did for that, or
I think the marketing part.
The marketing, yeah, okay. And I guess it's already an established concept.
Yeah.
So how was that different for you? Or were there kind of things that they told you we want those kind of people, or did they expect you to kind of roll with that, or I don't know if you could talk about that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like I worked there while I was actually organizing our first festival, Transit Festival. So it was kind of like nice to be there and at an established festival that already had like 5 years of knowledge and stuff. So it was really nice to see how the big guys were doing it and help with that. And I surely helped a lot, and it helped a lot for our festival as well.
Yeah. So I guess you learned a lot of that, a lot from that as well, right?
Yeah.
From what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's totally different. It's not totally different, but it's just much more evolved. They already had 5 years where they can learn from their mistakes. They know exactly what they have to do. So it's really nice. It was really nice being
And
there.
do you have some things that you would say that's something that I definitely learned from that we incorporated within our own operations?
Ooh, tons of things, but yeah, I mean, like the whole PR part is really important. But actually, like I said, I'm actually only like really it's really getting through me now that it's so important. If you really want to grow, you need that organic growth, and you cannot rely only on ads. It's really nice to have other people or other parties saying how great you are. And like, I understand that the world is actually quite a bit fake and commercial in that way, and that's just the way things work. Like, you can just like hit up a magazine or something who like your potential audience like. So it could be like, for us, it could be like Vice magazine. I'm just saying something. You can just hit them up. They are looking for content for their audience. So like, you can just say, okay, you can write an article about us, but then we give away tickets. So that's actually a win-win, because you have like more reach. It's for free. It's you're not saying about yourself that you're great, but like a trusted platform is saying that you're great. So like, that means much more. And yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the times that's not happening because they just want money for it. So you can just, like, the world, like the whole DJ music world is built around, like, it's a bit fake, and it's all about money. Most of the time, if you like Mixmag, you know Mixmag?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they're like the top 100 DJs.
Or Resident Advisor.
Yeah.
I mean, they just, you have like, I don't know, Charlotte de Witte. I'm just saying.
Sure.
Big Belgian famous techno artist. I mean, her management just pays Resident Advisor or Mixmag a ton of money to just like post articles about them, and they make it seem like it's a real article talking about how great she is, but I mean, it's all paid for,
It's actually an ad.
Yeah, it's actually an ad. It's actually an ad, but it doesn't look like an ad.
Okay.
So a lot of stuff in the world works like this, and not only in the music industry, but
yeah, on YouTube they have, if you have a paid promotion, you have to declare that, and there's like a banner. This video includes a paid promotion. Like, YouTube is actually kind of protecting against that kind of stuff, because if you're going to talk on YouTube about a certain product, then obviously it's important that people know that it's paid for. But obviously, if you're a Mixmag or Resident Advisor, you don't have to declare that.
I mean, they try to be transparent, as you say. Instagram is doing the same thing. Like, it says like paid partnership with. And that's actually the official way to go. Like, nah, doesn't always happen.
No, like Mixmag doesn't have to say that because they're their own platform, right?
Of course, you don't have to say anything. It's just a magazine, and so yeah, a lot of things in the world work like that, and it's a bit sad somewhere because it's not real,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't even know how the top 100 DJs that Mixmag always publishes, how that works. Probably works in a similar fashion, or what? How do you define number 1, 2, 3? Like, who's the best DJ?
I mean, they're gonna rely on polls. Like, they're gonna ask the public, of course, because it can be completely random. It has to have an element of truth in it. But I mean, they just pay. Like, if you want to be number one. Yeah, I'm serious. If you want to be number one, and there's a price for that.
Right.
You can be number one. I mean, they need to be credible as well. So they're like, I can't go and just say Mixmag to be number one because no one's ever heard of me.
I'll see.
But if But if you're Charlotte de Witte, or if you're like
Sure.
a famous, you can be number one with a price. Of course you can.
Yeah. All right, man. I think we will wrap it up.
We're done?
I think so. We are almost out of time. But I want to thank you very much for being here. I have one more thing that I wanted to ask you, and it's a pretty generic question. But the question that I have is there anything I should have asked but didn't? Would you say?
We talked about marketing, about parties. We didn't talk about music production at all.
Oh well, we can talk a little bit about music production. We have some time left.
I want to know what is your setup like? I've listened to your previous podcast, so you talked about the mic, which is really good. You have much better mics than I do. Actually, I have no mics.
Yeah, if you had one, I would hope you would use it.
I would have used it.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe I would have been too lazy, maybe, but I'm sorry. But it sounds really nice. This mic, yours. It's you got a really deep voice. But I just want to know what kind of processing you have on the audio here.
On the audio, I'm running it through a DB
compressor.
Yes, so I'm running it through a DBX 286S. I will send you a link to it if you want. It's basically a channel strip. So it does multiple things. It does compression. It has a de-esser in it that I don't use because I don't need it. Nice. It has an EQ in it, basically with two knobs. Basically, it says low-end enhancer and high-end enhancer. The low-end enhancer is basically like an 80 hertz bump. And then the high-end enhancer is something, just a presence boost. And then it also has an expander gate on it for filtering out background noise. That's going into...
Any background noise. I don't hear any background noise. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's the point. And it's also a dynamic mic, so it doesn't pick up my computer fans or something like that.
Is it an active or like a passive?
This is a dynamic, so it's a passive mic.
Oh yeah.
But I also have this one that I also showed last time, which is my Sennheiser, my MKH416, my shotgun mic, and this is a condenser, so that would kind of pick up my fans. But then again, it's a shotgun mic, so it has a very narrow pickup pattern, so it doesn't really it rejects sound from the sides. It's very directional. So this one also doesn't pick up too much background noise for that reason.
Yeah, no, it's like a boom mic.
Exactly. But this one also sounds super juicy.
Juicy?
But, super juicy.
This one is juicy.
This one is juicy too, yeah. But it's also, the processing does a lot. If I turn off the processing, let me do that. So this is without the processing on it.
Holy shit! Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Oh my god!
Obviously, it also reduces the volume a little bit because of the compression. It has a little bit of makeup gain on it. But it sounds really flat. It's just a really flat mic, and that's perfect for processing it because if you then process it, you can make it sound however you want.
And now it sounds compressed, which is good.
It is super compressed. Yeah, I use a lot of compression on it. I use 2 stages of compression, actually. So I use a stage of compression in my DBX, and it goes into my RME interface. I have a Fireface UCX, and there I can also do some real-time processing. So I use an extra 80 hertz boost, but it's really minor, just to give it a little bit more juice.
It's like that deep voice.
It is the juicy low
end.
Do
you adjust anything beneath 80 or 50?
Right now, I don't have any low end cutting, but I do have a low cut switch on the mic, and this is with a low cut switch on the mic. So that basically eliminates everything under 100 hertz or something. And that sounds great as well. It sounds a lot less muddy, I guess. But
you don't need those super low.
No, you don't really need it. But then again, I do enjoy listening to it.
I understand.
I kind of like that low end juiciness because this mic also picks up a lot of sub bass, and it's actually used a lot in bass drum cabinets and stuff like that. This mic,
All right.
because it's also dynamic, it can take a lot of decibels, basically.
Yeah.
But I only use my mics for voiceover, so I don't really use it for music, just for spoken word. I've been researching like spoken word for mics for about 5-6 years now, I think.
This is perfect. This is, you don't need another mic, right?
Yeah, no.
This one is great.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. The only thing is that it takes a lot of gain. So if you don't have the proper equipment for it, then you have to drive the preamp super, super hard. You have to basically put it 100% of any interface. If you have an audio interface, you have to put the preamp 100%, and then you do get background noise. So you do need a preamp of some kind.
There's always a downside, right?
Yeah, that's just this mic, but it's been the same design like this since the 70s or something. I mean, you can tell probably by the color. For those who are listening, it's kind of like a old school beige color, but I do like it.
It's awesome. You look like a radio man of the 70s.
A radio man.
Cool. Radio man.
But yeah, I mean, they also have new mics. They have this is the RE20 from Electro Voice. But they also have an RE320, which is a black version. So it's a completely black painted version. It looks the same as this one, but it has a very dynamic neodymium magnet in it. This one isn't a very efficient one. It's just old design. It's basically a classic mic with a classic sound as well, but it's less efficient. But the new 320 has a very efficient magnet in it, and you don't need a lot of gain at all. You can and it sounds great out of the box. You basically don't have to do any processing up to it, but it's not as flat as this one. It's a little bit presence boosted, so it also already sounds a little bit processed just by using it out of the box, which is also nice. But I went for the classic.
I mean, yeah. This one is really nice. I'm impressed by the audio.
And what about your equipment that you use for your production? Do you have any specific things that you go back to for your production?
I use all digital. So
digital, yeah.
Yeah. No, I have like a step sequencer, which I barely use. The thing I use most is just my mouse and my keyboard, and of course a keyboard, like a MIDI keyboard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the most important, so you can just really play with different velocities. So with everything, because I think everything is just digital. Like you can have super fancy equipment, but nowadays you can really replicate everything almost perfectly digitally. So that's actually it's nice. You can do everything with a super low budget.
Yeah, true. And what you create with your equipment, it just sounds great to me. Is there anything that you wanna plug, or let people know where they should find you and should find your music?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. They can follow me on SoundCloud, which is Ancy. It's ANCY. Come and follow me. Slap bass, like everything.
Slap bass. Yeah, I gotta send you that channel.
Do it.
Davey 504.
Please do.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna send it to you later.
Yes.
Okay.
Looking forward.
I really want to thank you for being here. I thought it was super interesting.
Thank you.
You obviously are very knowledgeable in your field, and I think it's awesome. And you have some things to teach me in terms of marketing, because I love making content, but my marketing isn't really my strong suit. My strong suit, I'd say.
We'll talk in private about we'll talk in private about promoting podcasts and stuff if you want.
Sure thing. Okay, I want to thank everyone for viewing and listening. If you're listening on Spotify, it's also coming to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, basically all the regular podcast platforms this show is going to air on. So if you're listening on there, thank you for listening, and thank you for Alexandre for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, thank you very much. We will see you later. Goodbye.